And there was something else here I was looking at. I was thinking about job hopping. Like, is it better to stay at one place for a long time? Like back in the day, or is it somewhat better to change positions? Not positions, but change companies, change environments to keep your kind of mental health good in your career, in your work. Because I think after a while, like if a guy's not, seeing any progression, or they're just feeling flat and stagnant, that might be an indicator to move on to whether a different company or a different career or a different path. Because you get stagnant in what you're doing, and it's just a bummer. You get down on yourself, and nobody just likes to spin their wheels, right? So I'll pull this up here. Pull up another one. Let's see, where is it here? Okay. Job hopping versus job loyalty. Which is better for your career? Today's fast-changing job market, professionals face a critical question. Is it smarter to job hop or stay loyal to one employer? With shifting workplace expectations and evolving compensation trends, it's important to understand both approaches and how each impact your career, growth, development, and how future employers perceive you. Let's explore some common questions around job hopping versus job loyalty using insights from recent research. Then it gives us a link for the survey. So what is job hopping? Job hopping refers to changing jobs frequently, often 1 to 2 years, rather than staying in one role, one company long term. This trend continues to grow, especially among younger professionals seeking faster career progression, stronger benefits, and or work-life balance. So yeah, that makes sense. Like if you want to accelerate your skills and avoid being caught up in stagnation with your role and kind of working on somebody else's schedule or how they want to progress you or whatever, and kind of got to take matters into your own hands and look for those opportunities that suits you the best, I guess. According to Loyal Legal Salary Survey, just over 52% of legal professionals have been in their current job for under 3 years. For many, job changes are driven not just by salary boosts, but also a promise of generous bonus structure, flexible work arrangements, and enhanced pension contributions. Does job hopping improve salary? Yes, job hopping is widely associated with faster salary growth, especially for full-time professionals, according to the ONS. Workers who switch employment typically experience sharper pay raises rather than those who stay in the same role. Again, you're just expanding your knowledge and your experience, so that would warrant a higher compensation package. Just self-growth, rather than being stagnant and doing the same job over and over and over again for the same pay. This reflects a broader trend seen in the legal industry, where salaries remain a strong motivator for movement. Total Legal Salary Survey found that 60% of legal professionals received a pay increase over the past year, up from 54% in 2024, highlighting continued upward pressure on compensation in a competitive market. Is the 2-year employment rule still relevant? The old rule of needing to stay in a job for at least 2 years to avoid looking uncommitted or becoming less rigid. Employers are often more focused on performance and progression than arbitrary timelines. In the legal field, for instance, Total Legal found that 80% of professionals have been in their current role for less than 2 years, with job mobility the norm, not the expectation. That said, context matters. Strategic moves backed by clear narrative of growth, are viewed more favorable than pattern of unexplained short stints. How often is too often for job hopping? Well, changing jobs every 18 to 24 months is generally acceptable, especially early in your career. Switching roles every 6 to 12 months without a clear reason will raise concerns with employers. Still, some segments of the legal market reflect high turnover standards. According to Totally Legal, 66% of solicitors, 80% of graduates and conveyancers, and 83% of documented reviewers have been in their current position for fewer than 3 years. Why is job hopping so common? Beyond the obvious salary advantage, today's professionals are also driven by benefits, flexibility, and culture fit. Culture fit's a big one, right? Like, you may be really good, really good at your job and know your stuff, but if you're not jiving with your team members and that, it's going to make things a lot harder. Where was I here? Culture fit. The Totally Legal Salary Survey highlights that candidates are increasingly seeking flexible working and enhanced pensions, not just a bigger check. For many, these perks are as influential as base salary when considering a move. Generational shifts are also playing a role. Nearly a third of baby boomers, 29%, and over a third of Gen Z, 36%, have changed roles since the last survey, showing that career mobility isn't just a Gen Z phenomenon, it spans across age groups. Do employers dislike job hopping? Perceptions are shifting. While some hiring managers still hesitant to when they see a CV filled with short stints, many are now more open-minded, especially if each more reflects a clear step forward. In the legal sector, employers increasingly recognize that variety experience can bring broader perspectives and acceptability. For example, Totally Legal found that longer tenured employees, such as legal secretaries, 50%, and legal PAs, 46%, tend to hold roles for over 10 years. But even those roles are seeing movement, as legal secretaries also report one of the biggest improvements in pay this year, with 83% receiving raises, up from 20% previously. What are the disadvantages of job hopping? Job hopping isn't without drawbacks. It can limit your involvement in long-term projects, weaken internal networks, and if poorly explained, raise red flags. The Totally Legal data shows that while short tenures are common, long-serving professionals often occupy more senior positions. Associates, 31%, general counselors, 30%, are more likely to have been in the post for over 10 years, suggesting that sticking around can help pave the way to leadership. Additionally, roles in areas like intellectual property, clinical negligence see higher proportions of long servers, indicating that some specialisms benefit from or even reward tenure. What's the best way to explain job hopping in interviews? When discussing your job changes, frame them as strategic moves that reflect your evolving career goals. Strong response can typically include clear reasoning behind each move, evidence of skill gained and results achieved, a narrative of professional growth, your desire for long-term development in your next role. For practical tips on how to communicate this effectively, check out this site if you want. The Totally Legal survey underscores that professionals across all levels are willing to move for the right opportunity, but strategic intent remains key on how those moves are received by employers. Final thoughts. You should job hop to stay loyal. There's no universal answer. Job hopping can accelerate the salary and skill development, especially early in your career. Meanwhile, loyalty can lead to a deeper client relationship, internal promotions, and long-term rewards. Here's what the data shows. Salary supplements are flexible, and flexibility are top motivators in changing roles. 80% of legal professionals have been in their current role for less than a decade. Some areas and roles reward long tenure with pay increase and seniority. Generational difference influence both tenure and motivations. Ultimately, it's about finding the right balance, early agility to explore your strengths, and later stability to shape your impact. Ready for your next move? Whether you're reconsidering a strategic job hop or looking to grow where you are, the right opportunity can make all the difference. Explore the latest. We don't need all that. Anyway, thought that'd be an interesting article because there's a lot of people who get stuck in position, and they just get stuck and they're in a funk, and it just negatively affects, their life overall. So if you don't like where you're at, then you should find something different for sure. And if you don't like the corporate life, start an entrepreneur, start your own show. Let's see here, where are we at? Yeah, so let's X out of there. So yeah, that's it for today. Did a little bit of an episode here, episode 2. I still gotta learn how to navigate this a little bit better. It'll come. This is only episode 2, so if you made it with me this far, I appreciate the support. I'd appreciate a like and subscribe if you can, and we'll talk to you later.